so glad you could join me today. Today we'll be doing a nice little interesting painting. Oh wait, ah, I have that habit, guys. I'm sorry. Today I'll be showing you how you can improve a painting you've done. As you can see, I have my painting from last video. If you haven't checked out that video, go check it out. Um, but I'm gonna show you how you can improve it, how you can make those subtle changes that will help you improve that painting and help that value sell. So it's just add-ons. This painting is completely dry. It has no wet paint, and we're just gonna add paint on top of it. And people always ask me, "Oh, well, how can I improve a painting?" This is the way how to do it. Or people, or how you call it? You always hear me say, "When it's dried up, you could add more paint." This is what I mean about that. So let's get started. So the first thing, I want my cloud to be more bright, more distinction. So the first thing I'm gonna do is grab a 1-inch brush and pull it through titanium white. And it's dry, so the colors won't blend in as easily. If they do, you need to make sure it's completely dry because the colors shouldn't blend at all. So just going in circles, and this helps you because for beginners, um, they tend to put lots of pressure on the canvas, and when it's a dry canvas, you need lots of pressure. So that could help an individual to learn better. Um, so now let's go right into the mountains. I didn't like how the mountains came out. So what I'm going to do, what can I do? Okay, that paint dried up. Might as well just take it out. Take it out of the equation. Let's just add paint on top. I don't have to put more base color. I was thinking about it, but never mind. Little roll of paint on the edge of your knife. Let's come up here. And same concept. It's the same concept. So now I'm going to pull across to get that 3D look. To make everything look like it's layers upon layers, not just a flat surface. And even though you could put more pressure here, I suggest put light pressure just so you could get in that habit of no pressure when you're painting. I'm just showing you this video just for those who want to, let's say, do a painting and they don't like it and they're like, I want to improve it. How can I do it? This is the way. Let your painting to dry and you add more paint. So all I'm doing is just adding more white. And now we can go into a little bit of phthalo blue. That's too much. Phthalo blue white. And I want to dull it down with a little bit of crimson. Ooh, that's too dull. I want like a nice lavender feel. White. Okay. Pull out the color across. Hopefully you can see that. And let's come up here. What you want to do is push up that paint and pull it out. And sometimes for those smaller spots, it's better if you use a small palette knife, number 5 to be exact. Same thing, push up, pull down. It's the same thing, you're just using a smaller tool, and it's not cheating. I was told once that's cheating. No, it's not. It's using your resources as they should be. And if you follow those angles more, it'll look more realistic. So make sure you're following those angles and not just putting it at random. But it's okay if you put it at random. It happens to me at times too. Okay, let me wipe off my bigger knife and go into straight titanium white. You could go back and forth, just like in a regular painting. I always like to think about this as a painting. I never like to think about it as we're fixing it. Because if you're thinking painting, you think how you always do it, not the way, like, oh, it's different and all that. No, you don't think that. But once you change it up, oh yeah, I'm repainting it or adding touches. Your mentality changes, and sometimes your painting will look worse. So I want to add a bit blue, phthalo blue, a little bit of crimson to dull it down. I just want a dark color, maybe even a little touch of dark sienna. Ooh, that's a nice color. And all I'm going to do is cut a roll with my small palette knife and just pull some of that down. Those shadows will come and play with your painting and add a different dimension. Well, not dimension, different layer. And that's what, oh, well, that's at least what I think lots of people want to accomplish. So I want to go into some lighter version. You can add so much paint. And me personally, I love to add so much paint on, which isn't the best thing to do if you're planning to add more mountains. But I love it because when it dries, it gives you a nice texture. And when it's your own painting, you can touch it when it's dry, and it's so amazing. You get that nice feel for it. Okay? Just a few little touch-ups here and there. And you could even get some white and just pull some down. Just like that. I think our mountain improved. Now, let's go ahead. Let's revisit our foothills. With my foothills, they were decent, but not the best. So I'm gonna use an oval brush, and with that dark blue color, dark blue, purple, grayish color, whatever we mixed up, I'm gonna add a little cadmium yellow and just tapping it to my oval brush. And just tap. You know what? I'm gonna do a pile. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna get phthalo blue and a tad of alizarin crimson just to tone it down a bit. So when I put yellow, it won't be too bright, that green. Some yellow. And if I want to make it somewhat subtle, a little bit of brown. A bit more red just to create that subtle image. But who knows? Maybe you want it bright. Maybe you want it not too subtle. Some white. I've noticed when I mix up these types of colors and I add white, It kind of grays it out a bit. But that's just me. Okay? So, just tapping in. I can go on and on and on. Now, I like to just grab a 2-inch usually and just pull that paint as much as I can. Tap the bottom sometimes. Really pull up that paint. Hold it up. Now, I need some mountain mixture, which I wasn't as prepared as I should have. I'm sorry for that. But you could see a little behind the scenes. Or I guess not, because I have to put my palette down. But I'm just adding a little bit of mountain mixture onto my palette. Put it there on my palette. Same thing with my oval brush. Tap it on. Let's come up here. And you're still keeping that shape of your foothill. And in the original painting, I think we used a fan brush. But when you're making foothills, you can honestly just use an oval and just make the pointy tips with um, the 2-inch or 1-inch. Doesn't matter. Look, it's rounded right now, but I just grab my 2-inch brush, pull up a bit, and it gives the same illusion that I want. So it really doesn't matter what brush you're using to do what. Now, we'll come back to that tree, but I want to highlight this. I feel like some parts are just a tad bit too dark. So let's go ahead, let's do that. I'm gonna clean the part in my palette. I have a little yellow, a little white there in front of my yellow, so tap it into the green just to pollute my yellow. Load your brush both sides. Let's come up here. And only in select areas. You don't want to over highlight this because then it also loses its purpose. So be careful how much you put on, because once you kill your darkness, you killed it for good. Okay? Just tap, tap, tap. Okay? Same thing I want to do on the other side. But again, this is all up to you. I'm just showing you how to do it. Just tapping at the angle. But it's so simple how you can just touch up a painting. That's why when I'm not satisfied with the painting, I don't worry too much about it, because I say, well, I could always just fix it. Give it that nice little touch up effect. Look at that. Just tapping, just a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. Bring it to a complete other side, and it brings in those layers. Today I was watching one of my old videos that no one has access to, and I was happy for having 11 subscribers, 12 subscribers, and to now be at 100, 118, 117, somewhere around there. It shows how much I've improved and making videos and in art. I didn't do art videos before. There were vlogs, as I called them, and they were not consistent. Little more highlights, but I was just laughing at them. Maybe one day I'll put them up to the public again. Who knows? Okay. You know what? I say I say we add a little bit of color to that middle middle layer of foothills. I feel like this one kind of blend in with that neutral gray color, and I don't want that. Sometimes this process could take 5-10 minutes. Sometimes it takes half an hour. It really depends on how much you want to change your painting and how long it takes you to do it. Lift upwards. And lift the bottom up as well. Okay, so we gotta get back to those trees. Oh wait, the very back one blends in too much. So we're gonna go into a little bit of mountain mixture, and I'm gonna pull out some white. It's mountain mixture with a touch of green and some white. Just like really toned down green. Like, doesn't matter. Almost like a gray. I'm gonna just use my 2-inch. I think for that it'll be quicker, more convenient. Step back, take a look. Okay, I really gotta get back to that evergreen. That is bothering me quite a bit. So let me get one of my cheaper brushes to work with. I'm grabbing a cheap old number 4 round brush and a little bit of green, a little bit of that cadmium yellow green color. It's a round brush, so has that rounded tip, and I just touch and pull to the side. It has a different little look, but I think it would suit this painting. So just piece by piece. Something like so. Maybe Maybe there lives another tree, maybe right around here. And you could add on stuff. You don't have to just keep the painting the same way. You can add maybe a tree you want, maybe a bush. You can change it up. Something like so. And now all we're gonna do is grab a little dark sienna, a little bit of white, and just add a little stem. Okay? Something that lives right along there. I'm just gonna fix up a little mistake I had there. Something like so. You can push up a bit, change it as it goes. It's just the back that's disturbing me. So what I'm going to do is, what can I do in this situation? Okay, I know. I'm gonna go into that color with my 2-inch brush, and doesn't matter if I blend that in. We'll bring it back. So I'm just mixing up colors on my brush, just trying to see what colors work and what colors don't. So don't mind me. I should have done this before the mountain. It's okay. I think we can even use a fan brush to do this work for us. Fan brush is like our smaller palette knife. So just scrub in something like so. I think maybe a little bit more there. Now you have to be able to distinguish the two. So I'll go into some yellow, cadmium yellow. Just a little bit, just to distinguish it and blend it out a bit. Okay. And then just go into mountain mixture, fix it up as well. Can't just fix up a few and leave one behind. Then it all looks off. And you know what? We're going back to the mountain. I'm telling you, this could become a back and forth process. There's no really stop to this. So I'm just gonna redefine those highlights so it looks everything's complete. Just like so. Just a little bit of white in there. And maybe even a little bit of that blue color. Just with my small palette knife and my bigger palette knife, some white. Let some of this go out. You don't need a straight line exactly. Some things show up more than others. Okay, and right before I let you guys go, I gotta add some water lines to this painting. Because it's like a little pond. And those ponds reflect those little water lines. And if you wanted to, you can use your palette knife to fix up the waterfall. It puts in a whole different perspective. Some dark skin and white. You can even come up here and put a little bit of extra highlight maybe to some. Break up that straight white look. And those highlights will be like your lines, your guides. Maybe some over here. Just blending those out a bit. But I think with that shows you how you can work with the painting that you've already completed and add to it. Doesn't it shows how you don't have to stop at one point. And even if a couple days later you say, "Oh, I don't like how it came out," go again, repeat the same thing, and just do it until you're completely satisfied with it. Until then, I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best you can with this painting, because it is a little more difficult, I could say, but it's still a great one. Until the next video, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a good day. Goodbye, my friend.